Hello, everybody. This is Boxing Bros UK here. I am Enis Chris. This is my co-host, Andrew the Boxing Brain. And today we're doing a preview of Bam Rodriguez and Boots Ennis, their two fights. The rest of the undercard, don't really know them or whatever. So in the fight review, if there's some good fights on there, we'll probably speak about them. But now we're going to focus on the two main people. Here we go. So Pedro Guevara, he's fighting Bam Rodriguez. He's the last time he challenged for a world title was in 2017. Came up short, lost the majority decision to Queensberry B-Team, some probably Japanese or Chinese fighter or something. He lost, but he's been on a comeback trail. He had a 2-win streak. He's been very, very active. Activity is key. But he's 35. Typical like kind of like Mexican Latino style. Like likes to come forward, likes to trade. He's got a mean left hook on him, lead left hook. But I don't know. I just think this is a routine win for Bam Rodriguez. It is mandatory because his last fight he won the interim WBC, so he has to fight him. But I just can't see him posing any much of a threat, to be honest. What are your thoughts?
No, same thing really. I mean, he's all right. Guevara. Oh God, all these boxers' names, I'll tell you. Guevara.
No.
Yeah, he's had a lot of fights, isn't he? 42 fights. Yeah, he's back in the year, got that belt, which is safe. He's back in the mix. A bit like the who was that fight against? I can imagine it being a little bit like that. Who was the fight against? It might have been Nick Ball's last fight against what was his name? Where he made a really good account of himself. He just kept getting up. I've forgotten his name.
Oh, bloody hell. No, but I know exactly what fight you was on about. That you're on about as well. Yeah. His last fight, it was what's his name? Fucker. Nick Ball. Well, I might find that. Yeah. Anyway, he kept getting on fighting and giving it, having a little war. But yeah, it's just going to be a Bam Rodriguez win, I think. And it's just it's the same with the Ennis fight as well. He's fighting Chukhadzhian, Ukrainian, good solid fighter.
Chukhadzhian, I think you say it, but I'm not entirely sure.
He's a Ukrainian, he's a good solid fighter. And I watched the last fight with him and Ennis. Like, I rate Ennis, but he's not as good as everyone thinks. He gets hit a lot. Yeah, and like in any boxing career, like that kid was hitting him quite a bit. He did win, but like outworking him, hitting him, hurting him. But he gets hit a lot, Boots Ennis, like a lot more than he should be. It's not like Crawford, where if he's getting hit a lot, he closes the show like he did against Sean Porter. And like he's done against many other fighters where he's been tagged a few times, and he closes the show and knocks them out if that happens because he's taking risks. Like Boots Ennis, sometimes he gets hit a lot and he doesn't knock him out. Like he's good, but he's just not as good as people. He's not a second coming like people think. I don't think that. Or maybe he's drained at 147 and needs to move up, but he just gets hit quite a lot for me. And this kid's on a good winning streak on the comeback trail. Got a few good wins put together. So, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, there was. I don't know if it was your end, but the sound's going a bit funny again, Chris. But I don't know if it's all right your end. But I couldn't.
Yeah,
is it all right your end?
It's fine my end. Just 1 second. Maybe it's my headphones. Your thoughts on this Ukrainian that Ennis is fighting?
Yeah, well, I think he obviously wants to, I'd say right the wrong. He beat him in that unanimous decision, but does he want to get? Because I'm a bit confused. Perhaps you could enlighten me, Chris, if you know any more about it. But I'd be expecting Boots Ennis now after 32 fights, right? He's had 32 fights. Let's just remember that, right? He's meant to be this second coming, as you're saying. Look, powerful. I've said this before. 5'10", big for his weight, can potentially move up weight and have a showdown with all of those guys, Fundora, Matchrroom, Spence, Tim Tszyu, all those guys at that level, going up a weight. Why is he rematching Chuk unless he wants to obviously get that knockout? Because he has got a 90% knockout ratio, maybe 95%, 29 knockouts. Gold medalist, Golden Gloves winner, and all that. Why is he not fighting for a unification like a Barrios, right? You're not telling me Boots Ennis, right? With all the hype surrounding him, I'm not saying I don't believe the hype. Can't go in there against the Barrios, who, by the way, fucking Pacquiao was going to come out of retirement and fight, wasn't he? When he going to fight Barrios at 45? Why is he not? I know, look, the politics of boxing gets a little bit confusing and it depends on, rankings, all the rest of it. You're the IBF champion. Why is that fight not being made? Am I missing something or what?
This is my whole point, yeah, of like this card. It's like they're Eddie Hearn's fighters, yeah? Great fighters, but it just seems like is Eddie Hearn losing his touch a bit? It doesn't seem like he's making like any fights that don't involve Turkey Al Sheikh, like big fights. It seems like he can't make them because he's got all this talent. He's got Boots Ennis, Shakur Stevenson, and he's not making big. They're fighting. These are the kind of fights that if you're a world champion, obviously Bam Rodriguez is different. It's his mandatory. He has to fight him. So let's say that. But even regardless of that, why is Bam Rodriguez not in a unification? He just stopped a legend the fight before, got knocked down, tough fight. It's just like they're not. He's not pushing his fighters on.
You're right, because that fight with Estrada, he ticked a lot of boxes for me, right? It was a flash knockdown. He done a good job against a very wily campaigner, a good fighter in Estrada. So I'd have been expecting his next fight to be trying to unify and then fulfill his mandatory after that. That's what I would have been looking for. But because what is he, Bam? He's the I know he's a 2-division world champion now, isn't he? Yeah, he's the WBC. So it's not like he's with the IBF, who's got the IBF strap that are really stringent on their mandatories, Chris. Mm-hmm. Like WBC, we all know with Murias. I remember that video that you did, sell his grandma for a pound Suleiman, right? We can find ways around that within in the negotiations. So come on. We say it like it is here on Boxing Bros UK. Come on, Eddie. Sort it out. Come on. Yeah.
It's just what's going fighters, on? Like, why isn't he putting them in big fights? And the thing is, like, he's chasing fights that are unrealistic, yeah? He's trying to get Boots Ennis to fight Crawford. Crawford is fighting at 154, yeah? He's never coming back down to 147. So, if you want to move up to 154, then do it. But don't say, we want to make the Crawford fight when you know damn well it's not. It's like,
you don't want to fight him.
He's got these fighters. They'll end up leaving, going to Frank Warren because he just can't close the deal. He's not getting them in good fights that people really want to see.
They already are bloody leaving, Chris. This is the problem. Well, I have heard on the grapevine, I don't know if you can confirm this, is a little bit of news. In a potential 5v5, we might have Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda, which is a fight I've been wanting for ages. That's a brilliant fight stylistically. I don't quote me on this, is not confirmation, but I think that's a potential. That's a potential one there.
Yeah. I just think but that's just talk though. That's Oscar De La Hoya wanted to do a 5v5 with Matchrroom, and Oscar De La Hoya said main event, him and Eddie Hearn fighting. Like he's fucking lost his mind and gone a bit too valley.
I thought I'd chuck it out there just to make the video a bit more interesting.
Yeah, and it's just like I just don't understand, why is Eddie Hearn not making the big fights or calling for the big fights? Why are they not happening unless Turkey Al Sheikh's involved? It's getting a bit bad. These are world champions. These ain't prospects. These ain't contenders. These are world champions, and they're taking fights as if they're contenders, and they're not. They should be unifying. We want unifications. And
I don't understand. You know, you got Stanley Honest, the WBA, Brian Norman Jr. Right? What, those fights out the question? Like, get another one of the you know, because I'll tell you what, not so much Bam. I understand what's going on there, but he's the chief support, Bam. Right now, if that main fight, Boots fight, is a unification fight with one of the other belts, all of a sudden there's a hell of a lot more eyes on it, and they're already. Don't get me wrong. It's an okay card, by the way. You got Austin Williams fighting and Ray Ford's on it as well, I think. So there's a couple of good fights on there. But I just think one of those needed to be a unification, Chris. Like you say, I don't understand it. It's Queensberry. They wouldn't have done this. Frank Warren wouldn't have. Frank Warren, absolutely. There would have been more trepidation for one of these fights. There'd have been a bit more, Boots in a unification. This could be interesting. And he's fighting a rematch with Chick, who he's already beat.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just really, it's just disappointing. Like after this fight, if Boots Ennis and Bam Rodriguez, they don't fight in unifications, or if Bam doesn't move up and fight a new way, so they need to start making waves. This taking easy fights, just because it's no good. It's no good. They've got to fucking do something. They've got to do something, man. And Eddie Hearn, I don't know what's happening, but like his promoting's like not the best at the minute. His shows aren't the best. I think he's got a good show coming up in Monaco.
I've got a little bit of a theory. Yeah, go on. Sorry, mate. Finish your point off, because I've got. I want to post something to you. I wonder what might be going on. I'm overanalyzing, but yeah, finish your point. What you was going to say?
Oh no, finish, mate. Finish. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's an actually. I think you might see where I'm going with this. Where I mean, because I've seen Proper Boxing have just put a video out. I'm going to watch it after we've done this video. That just what we've been saying. It's titled Eddie Hearn. What's going on, mate? That's the title of their video, something like that. I'm going to watch it in a minute. What's going on, mate? So we're boxing fan. We want to see. You know, there was a time when he was ruling the roost. I'm just putting this out there. Is he really concerned now? Right? He had obviously Ray Ford lost against Nick Boyd. You know, he got massacred in the 5v5. Let's say Boots Ennis is in there in a unification and maybe sort of, you know, ends up losing in a close decision, or the same thing happens to Bam. His stable's gonna look even worse. He's gonna feel the pressure even more if he is feeling the pressure, which I assume he is. Like, he must be sort of a bit, hang on. So I'm just putting it out there, Chris. I wonder, is he not wanting to put these two of his big boys on the weekend in against fighters that are going to give them adversity? Because if they lose, he's in a bit of a whole world of trouble, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's playing the safe game. He's playing it safe.
But he's playing it safe.
Yeah. But the thing I always loved about Eddie Hearn is he didn't play it safe. He made the fights, the 50-50 fights early. You're talking Dylan White, AJ, Okoli versus Chamberlain. Like when they weren't really ready for them kind of fights, he just stuck them in and thought, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? And obviously, Isaac Chamberlain versus Okoli was a stinker. AJ versus Dylan White for the British title. We all remember that was a beautiful fight. And that was a good thing about Eddie Hearn. He was making them hard fights. And like now, and he's making fights, safe fights, with world champions. So you can't even say, I just want to keep them active, keep them busy or whatever. The world champions, we want to see them in difficult fights, like you say, facing adversity. And it's just not happening for him anymore. And it's really, it's like he's Frank Warren's little sidekick. Like Matchroom's turning into Queensberry B-Team, you know, because they're working together. They're all pally-pally. Frank Warren's smashing it. He's the lead man. And then if he needs a fighter or whatever, Eddie Hearn's there. And then Eddie Hearn sat on the at the Fury press conference on Frank Warren's side when he's got no dog in the game, just to be bigging up Queensberry. And it's just like, come on, mate. Where's your drive? Where's your competitiveness? Like, you need to sort it out.
I think you're right.
You need to sort it out.
I think the thing is, at the moment, let's just sort of talk real. Eddie Hearn and DAZN need Queensberry more than they need DAZN and Eddie Hearn.
For sure.
So, you know, it's a great move for Eddie Hearn. But anyway, I'm going to watch a few more videos. I'm intrigued about this DAZN seeming not free fall. I don't like all hyperbole and exaggerate. I don't like when channels do that. I'm not going to start saying, oh, he's in decline, he's finished. That's a load of nonsense. I'm not saying that. But things are just not looking as rosy as they were 5 years ago. You know, he's relying heavily. Look at what's going on with the AJ stuff. Sorry, I know this video's gone off, but you know, there's not too much to say about the two main fights because they're pretty sort of conventional. Well, not easy wins, but they should get the job done. But he's clearly, I think, worried about the Dubai rematch. Incredibly dangerous, and if AJ loses that, you know, he's retired. He'll retire him. That's a massive heavyweight and a massive money maker.
They're not even going to do that rematch.
So, no. And he's got Johnny Fisher. He's not going to put him in shark-infested waters anytime soon, Chris. No, so we're not going to see him in any. He's going to fight the Dave Allens, and they'll probably put him in with Chisora in about 3 years.
Yeah.
So
it's just
it's not looking
worrying times for Matchroom. Very worrying times, eh?
Yes. Yeah, that's what we're trying to drive at here. But let us know what you think, anyone.
Yeah.
You know, if you've any insights or what's going on.
Yeah, that's it. So let us know your thoughts. What do you think's going on at Matchroom? Why is it like no British shows anymore, really? No. And then he's saying that he's taking over the world. And then the fighters, these great talented fighters he's got are not even in good fights. Like, it's just not a good look. You know, it just, I'm an international promoter all over the world. What, to fucking getting at Boots Ennis, a talent like that, to rematch someone he's already fucking beat? And it's not even a mandatory. What's the point in that?
What happens in this fight? What happens? Because Chuck's a wily old customer. He just knows that. He's durable. He just knows how to sort of get through fights, right? What if the same thing happens again and he sort of labours to a majority decision, and maybe it's even worse? Then he's going to be even less likely to stick him in with a unification fight. So I don't really know, Chris, where I'm at with this. To be honest, it's a bit.
This is the thing, yeah. If Boots Ennis
he's got to knock him out.
If he doesn't knock him out and like close the show and give a stellar performance, this fight was absolutely pointless. There's no point rematching someone that you've already beat convincingly to fight them and only beat them convincingly again. Like to not do better the second time. There's no.
Has he even been stopped, Chukhadzhian? I don't think he's been stopped.
I'm not too sure. And I just think if Boots Ennis does what he did against Avanesium, like when he fought this guy last time, you know, like wins, but just gets hit too much, not clinical, like it's just not a good look. It's not a good look. He's got to take this guy out, and he's got to take him out in devastating fashion and look good. He has to. And if he doesn't, worrying times for Eddie Hearn, man. Worrying times. And he needs to get his fighters in 50-50 fights or tough fights. He's got to do it. You there? Oh. So, yeah, that's basically it for us. What are your thoughts on these two fights? Oh, and please, any comments about Eddie Hearn? Like, what the fuck's going on? Is he done? Is he losing his touch in negotiations? What is going on with him? Because he just can't seem to make the big fights for fighters anymore. Unless Turkey Al-Sheikh's there, holding his hand.
Is it motivation? Some other opinions, guys. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Or like you said, is he just playing it safe? because he doesn't want to lose what he's got.
That's what
Who
I
knows?
think.
But like
I
and
think
subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Leave some comments.
Like
Boxing Bros UK.
Cheers, guys.
Sweet.
I'm glad that video